Instagram. Are you going to catch up? Can anybody tell me why Instagram has this like narrow little area of field of vision? I don't know what to do about it, you guys. I can angle TikTok, I can angle YouTube, I can angle Streamster, but Instagram trying to keep me in a box. I don't belong in a box. I don't fit inside your fucking box. Instagram. Hi, good morning. Hello, everyone. I'm a couple minutes early, so. So, what? Grand Rising L. When are we having our rap battle? Again, everyone, we are live on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. So you have your choice of platform to watch. I will warn you that Instagram often shuts down on its own. TikTok is the most reliable place to be and the most fun place to be. Replays are always on YouTube. However, there's an archive there of replays, which we can't do on TikTok, which is really why we have to be at least 2 platforms wide. I've got my it's not even lukewarm. I lied. It's not even lukewarm. It's cold coffee. I've got my cold coffee. I'm going to turn my notifications off. I thought I did. Volume off. I've got a lovely bunch of coconuts. Diddly diddly, there they are, standing in a row. Big ones. Good morning, Victoria. Good morning, my friends. Okay, let me make sure the volume is off here too, so we don't get dings and boops and beeps during class. Welcome, 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 everyone. Comments are nice and big, so I can see them as best as is available. Welcome to Tiny Yoga. Tiny Yoga is a gentle flow for everybody in every space. It's a 30-minute, I'm trying to shorten class already on you guys. Nice try. It is a 30-minute gentle flow for everybody in every space. Desecration conflict, hello, my friend. So I would love to tell you about this whole house, because this whole house was built mostly by hand by an individual who worked at an old mill here in town. It's no longer a mill, but he worked there and he got all these pieces. And this entire room is walled like this, ceiling as well, not the floor, but all 4 walls. No, yeah, there's the custom made closet thing over there too. And I say custom made, right? You're not talking about your, like, I don't know. This is somebody's heart project. This was somebody's project. They built themselves this little cabin, little 2-bedroom cabin, with a beautiful, whatever it's called, tub, right? What are the clawfoot tubs? But it doesn't have claw feet. Anyway, it's a beautiful little thing. Hey, Badass Blind Woman, how are you? Welcome, everyone. So again, hello, my name is Reverend Deborah. I'm an interfaith minister, a movement facilitator, and your shenanigan shaman, and this is our Tiny Yoga class. Tiny Yoga is a 30-minute gentle flow for everybody and every space. All you need is a place to put your butt. You don't have to have really any yoga experience at all. You don't even have to have a lot of mobility. This class came out of the fact that I cannot reliably wake up with mobility every morning. There are some mornings where I wake up and it's very difficult to move. So, thank you, diagnoses. And it came out of using the excuse of not having enough space to practice yoga, not having enough space to do a full yoga mat practice when I was in the RV and these excuses that we fill our pockets with, right? We walk around with pockets full of excuses, fat pockets. Oh, I can't do this. Oh, I can't do that. I don't have enough mobility. I don't have enough space. I don't have enough time. I don't have enough energy. Today, you're going to turn your pockets inside out and you're going to let all your excuses drop down to the sides of whatever chair, seat, place you've decided to put your butt today. Okay? I invite you to come join me for class. Remember that you are your own guru. So I'm going to lead us through a flow. We're going to go pretty slow today. Actually, I have kind of a short flow, but I want us to take our time because I really want you to find what part of each of these poses is really available to you. Well, if we fold all the way down and that does not feel good, then today I invite you to let go of the perfectionist in you who wants to do exactly what I do or what somebody else does and do what you actually need today. So this is the fun part today is we're going to take our time. We're going to do some pretty simple moves. I want you to really explore what your body needs. Okay? You are your own guru, and this is how we build trust with ourselves. Elle, what's up? Oh, okay, good. I see you. Hi. Hi, friends. Hi, friends. Thank you, everyone, for joining me. It is 10:04. I usually wait until 10:10, so we're going to take about 5 more minutes. Thank you, friends. Waiting for folks to filter in. Not everyone makes it exactly at 10 o'clock. Heck, I don't always make it exactly at 10 o'clock, so we're going to wait till 10:10 before we get started. That should give you enough time to take a couple more sips of your coffee or tea. That should give you enough time to park your car if you are driving so that you can join us for a little bit of this flow. If you're in the office and you can take a few minutes and take the phone off the hook for, I don't know. I'm not recommending people do things that they shouldn't do, but if you've got a few minutes, I invite you to come join me. We're going to take a few minutes, these next 5 minutes while we're waiting for folks to join, and we're just going to center ourselves. I'm going to adjust here a little bit. So for those of you finding your seat or parking your car or taking your work phone off the hook or sending a quick email to say that you're taking a break, go ahead and do the things you need to do. For everyone else, go ahead and find the edge of your seat. Please make sure that you're not so far on the edge of your seat that you're just going to slide the fuck off. I want you to stay stable on your seat. So find the edge with enough of a ledge to stay safe. Go ahead and bring your knees to shoulder width apart. Stack the knees on top of the ankles. It's okay if you have shoes on or if you don't. If you have the opportunity, kick those shoes off so you can ground feet to the earth as close as possible. Whatever else you were doing today, leave it right here, right now. For the next 34 minutes or so, 40 minutes or so, we're going to leave that shit right there. We're not going to pick it back up until after class. And whatever is coming next, in the next 30 minutes or so, 40 minutes or so, next hour or so, you are not going to pick that up until we are done with class. And any time during class, if you find your mind going, oh shit, are you sure we shouldn't pick that up? Or your memory or emotions going, are you sure I really want to drag this with me? I invite you to listen, acknowledge it, take a deep breath in to acknowledge that it exists, and exhale the need to go anywhere else but here. You are your own guru. You'll hear me say that a lot in this space, because the truth is, no matter how many teachers, gurus, wise persons, or books, or things, or classes you read, or interact with, or how much you receive from the outside of you, without your inner guru, it will be nothing but knowledge, nothing but information. We receive information and we store it in our brain. It is our inner guru that brings that down into understanding, that distills it into an experience that we can turn around in our hands, examine, and actually understand. Wisdom does not come from having information. It comes from understanding that information. need your inner guru to do that. You need your inner guru to meet you where you're at. You need your inner guru to remind you to come back to the present moment. Otherwise, we're just ran by our egos. We're just run by ego. Otherwise, we're just run by other people's emotions, pushed around by information outside of us and misconceptions and ideas and other people's needs and wants and thoughts and judgments. Let it all go. Go ahead and close your eyes. What time is it? 10:08? Okay. Close your eyes and just take a few moments here to listen to the sounds in the room that you're in. No particular sound. Just open your hearing to listen for all the sounds. See if you can listen in a way, move your hearing around so it becomes a kind of cacophony of sounds. So they all blend together. And if a thought pops into your mind, just shift your hearing back to the sounds in the room you're in. Take a big deep breath in, pulling the breath through the nose, through the lungs, and all the way into the belly. And let it go. Listen for the sounds in the room you're in. Allow in some of the sounds from outside of the room, blending, not separating, not separate sounds, but blending together. Take another deep breath in, inhaling the breath through the nose and expanding the rib cage in all directions, front, sides, and back. And let it go. Listen for all the sounds blending around you. Listen to the ebb and flow, the rise and fall, the rhythm. Of the sounds of the world around you. Take another deep breath in, this time lifting the heart and lifting through the top of the head to elongate the spine. And exhale, gently melting the shoulder blades down the back, tucking the chin ever so slightly. Give your elbows a little bit of a wiggle, make sure they're nice and loosey-goosey. Seal the lips and follow the breath. Letting go of all the sounds in the room, shift your awareness just to the breath. Listen for just the breath. Bring your awareness down into your feet. Wiggle your toes a little bit. You can keep your eyes closed for as long as you would like. Wiggle your toes, roll your feet just ever so slightly back and forth, putting pressure on the outside of your foot and towards the inside of your foot. Pressure, a little bit, pressure and release on your heel, your big toes. Press both feet into the ground with intention, pushing both feet into the ground and release. Once more, both feet in the ground and release. Good morning, Earth. Hello. One more time, both feet in the ground and release. Extend your arms out in front of you, and we're going to do a little bit of heel toe flex flow. So inhale, lifting the toes up, spreading your fingers and pressing the palms facing out. Inhale. Exhale, palms in, heels up. Inhale, toes up, palms out. Really spread those fingers, pressing the palms forward. Nice long arms, keeping your shoulders down. Exhale, heels up, palms in. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale and exhale one last time. Release the feet, hands to the knees. Drop the knees both sides. Windshield wiper your knees back and forth, back and forth. Good morning, squeaky chair. Come back to neutral, and then we're going to move into the right knee. You can interlace your fingers underneath your thigh, or you can just go ahead and do this by using the muscles in the leg. If you'd like to do a little more strength building, keep the arms to the side, palms open. Otherwise, interlace the fingers. Lift the knee up to the chest. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, hug the knee in, give it a squeeze, and give it a kiss. Go ahead and release the right leg. And we're going to go for the left. Again, you can use the leg itself to lift with the arms out to the sides, or you can interlace your fingers underneath the thigh. Inhale up, lengthen the spine. Exhale, hug that knee in and give it a kiss. Release the left leg. Windshield wiper those knees out again. Come back to neutral, and you can put your hands on your hip, or you can hold on to your seat, and we'll move into torso circles. Use the spine as a kind of spoon for your pelvic floor. You can start low, tipping the hips in one direction. Get the belly engaged, get the rib cage engaged until you've got your whole torso circling in one direction. And then the other direction. If you can get your shoulders and your neck involved too, you can move your entire spine with these juicy torso circles. Come to neutral. Take your left hand and place the back of your left hand to your low back. Reach your right hand to your left knee and twist just the upper body. Keep the knees shoulder width apart, straight to facing forward, and just gaze over that back shoulder for a little twist. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, come back to neutral, and we'll go for the other side. Right hand, back of the hand on the low back. Inhale, lengthen the spine, reach the left hand to the right knee, and exhale to twist. Gazing over that back shoulder. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, come back to neutral. Place your hands on your thighs, and we'll move into cat-cow. Inhale, lifting the chin, sending the chest forward, tipping the tailbone up. Give your tail a little bit of a waggle. Good morning, tail. Inhale, exhale, tuck your chin, roll the spine, pushing back, tuck the tailbone. Inhale, forward, chin up, chest forward. Exhale, pushing that chest in, chin down, tailbone tucked. Inhale, exhale, Get the shoulders moving with it. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale back to neutral. Shake it out a little bit. Release the arms to your sides. Give them a little bit of a wiggle. Pull the shoulders up to the ears, keeping your spine nice and long, long through the neck, lifting to the top of the head. Squeeze the shoulders up to your ears and then drop them with a I'm going to scoot out to my chair a little bit more so my arms can be loosey-goosey. Inhale them up, squeeze. Drop them with a ha. Inhale up, squeeze. Drop them with a ha. One more. Inhale. We're going to move into the neck. Go ahead and just tip the chin up and roll the head gently in one direction, keeping those arms nice and loose, hanging by your sides. Rolling the head in one direction. And next time your chin is up towards the ceiling, go ahead and switch directions. Take your time. We're not trying to pop the neck. I know sometimes we can't avoid the snap, crackle, pop, but the point here is just to warm up the neck. Say hello. Once your chin is facing towards the ceiling again, leave it there. Inhale. And exhale, tipping the chin, dropping it down to your chest. Inhale, the chin up towards the ceiling. Exhale, down to your chest. Inhale up to neutral. Exhale, gaze over the left shoulder. Inhale to center. Exhale, gaze over the right. Inhale, center. Nice long spine. Exhale, gaze over the left. Keep those shoulders relaxed. Inhale back to center. And exhale to the right. Back to neutral. Bring your hands together at your chest into prayer. Interlace all of those fingers except your pointer and your thumb, keeping them erect. Send those hands all the way up above you with a gentle arch in the back. Inhale, exhale, come all the way down for a forward fold. Lay your chest and belly on your knees if it's available. Relax your shoulders, head, let everything hang off your lap. Take several deep breaths here. Inhale, lengthen the spine just by lifting the head and bringing intention to the lifting through the top of the head. Imagine that you're pulling the top of the head away from your tailbone. Lengthen the spine. And place your right hand in between your feet, if it's available, otherwise outside the feet. And inhale that left arm up and open for a nice little twist here. Come back down, keeping that spine nice and long, lifting through the top of the head. Inhale the right arm up for another twist. Gaze up towards the ceiling. Breathe, make lots of space. And come back down to the fold. Inhale again, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, slowly roll back up. Thank you guys for sharing the live. It seems TikTok might have been, what's it called? Lagging me on purpose. All right. We're going to hug the knees again, and we're going to move into a seated pigeon, a little bit of a pigeon flow. Pigeon flow, yes. So, again, you can either lift the knee by itself, or you can interlace your fingers underneath your right thigh. Pull it up as high as you can. Squeeze it into the chest. Inhale. Then cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Flex your right foot. Again, it's okay to assist if you need to, and allow that right knee to drop open for pigeon. It's really important to keep your right foot flexed. It protects the knee joint, the right knee joint. So just breathe into this posture here. This is some really nice hip opening. Often when we hold tension, we hold layers of tension. And we give our bodies a moment to relax. Yes, they'll relax a little. But the longer we sit here with it, the longer we breathe with it, the more those deeper layers will start to relax. So I invite you not to put any pressure right this moment on your right knee. Just take some breaths and see if you can let it open on its own a little bit more. Keep that right foot flexed. Go ahead and lengthen your spine, and if you would like to deepen the stretch now, we're going to go for a fold. So I invite you to inhale, lengthening the spine, and then slide your arms over your shin so your shin goes underneath your armpits, across your chest, if this is available to you. If this is too deep, you can go inside the leg here for a little bit of a deeper stretch. If that's still too deep, go ahead and just rest your hands on the knee and invite it to open. I don't invite you to push, but I encourage you to honor where you are and what your body needs. So go ahead and get down into your fold, whatever is available to you, and just take 3 deep breaths in this fold. Good job, dog. Inhale again. Create space. Exhale to let that tension go. Last breath. Inhale. Breathe deep. Exhale completely. Slowly roll up on your inhale, and as you do, grab a hold of that knee, lift it out of pigeon, and squeeze it to the chest. Again, nice big hug. Point your toe. I invite you this time to kiss your knee, to whisper sweet nothings, to snuggle it. Thank you so much, knee, for supporting me, for keeping me mobile, for allowing me to jump and sit and run and all the things that you do. Thank you, my knee. Take a deep breath in and release your right knee. Does your left knee feel like it needs a little bit of attention? Let's give it some attention too. All right. Again, on your own, with the muscles of your left thigh, you can lift it, or you can support by interlacing your fingers underneath your left thigh. So inhale the left thigh up, lift, 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 point the toe. Inhale deeply. Lengthen the spine. As you exhale, flex the left foot and place that left ankle over the right thigh. Let it fall open. And just breathe here. Nice long spine. Several breaths, softening the left thigh. Let the muscles in the joint and in the thigh, in the knee, and let the whole leg relax. Let the low back relax. Keeping intention in the left foot so that we're protecting the left knee joint. sinking in. No need for pressure. And you don't even have to fold. We will fold, but you don't even have to fold. Honor where you're at. Honor what your body needs today. You can stay here if you'd like to, or we can move into your forward fold, whatever works for you. Arms over the shin, hands inside of your little triangle here, or just resting your hands on your thigh. Whatever level is appropriate for you today. So inhale, lengthen that spine, nice, long, lifting through the top of the head, sending the tailbone down into the earth. Inhale, and exhale into your forward fold. 3 deep, big, deep, full breaths here, inviting the knee to open more, inviting the hip to relax. Each breath, inhaling any tension, anything stuck, anything rigid. Exhaling, letting it all go, releasing any tension. One more breath. Inhale. Exhale completely. Inhale, slowly roll up and grab that knee on your way up, bringing it into the chest, giving it a really big squeeze. Point your toe, hug your knee in, snuggle it up, whisper sweet nothings, give it kisses and gratitude. Thank you for all that you do. Inhale, exhale to release the knee. Plant your feet on the ground, shoulder width apart. Stack those knees over the ankles, and then drop the knees back and forth. Windshield wiper the knees again. Bring the palms together. Come back to neutral. Bring the palms together at the heart. Send them up overhead for a slight back bend. Inhale and exhale. Turn your torso, just your torso. Try to keep your knees shoulder width apart. Turn your torso to the left, and then go ahead and open the arms so your right hand will land on the outside of your left knee. The left hand lands behind you on the back of your chair, on your bed, or you can wrap it around your body to reach for the other leg on the other side here. Gaze over that back shoulder and take 3 deep breaths here, focusing on the lengthening of the spine. Exhaling, bringing intention to your posture, gently tucking the chin. You don't want to scrunch up the spine in this twist. Breathe. Letting the breath wring out your whole upper body. Inhale again. Exhale, release. Hands together at the heart, into prayer. Up, overhead, slight back bend. Inhale. Exhale, twisting the torso to the right, just the torso. Keep those knees shoulder width apart. Once you find full twist, open the arms, dropping the left hand to the outside of the right knee, bringing the right hand to the back of your chair or your bed, or wrapping it around for the other thigh. Gaze over that back shoulder and lengthen the spine with several breaths. Last one, deep inhale. Slowly release on the exhale. Keep your right thigh where it is and slide your left leg open. Just to a degree, maybe 45 degrees from your seat. You're not going to go all the way open. You just need 45 degrees. Take your left hand, slide it down, that extended left leg, and with your right hand, sweep it out and overhead as if you're reaching for your toes of that extended leg. Inhale, gaze up past the elbow for this nice big right side body stretch. Breathe here. Sinking a little bit deeper if it's available with each exhale. Inhale, slowly come up. You can lead with that upper arm to help you get up. Bring your left leg to center, shoulder width apart, knees at a 90-degree angle. Leave that left thigh now where it is here at center and slide your right leg open to about a 45-degree angle for a seated gate pose. Right hand slides down your right thigh. Sweep that left hand open up overhead as if you are reaching over your head and trying to reach those right toes of the extended right leg. This big, nice, open left body stretch. Inhale, gaze up past your arm towards the ceiling. Breathe, deepening your stretch if it's available. Inhale, slowly come up. Lead with this upper arm, with that left arm, so it helps you come back upright without using too much of the back muscles. Bring that right leg back into center, shoulder width apart. Now we are going to move into the last bit of our practice. We're going to hold our mudra. The mudra, remember for this week, is the Shunya Mudra. And the Shunya Mudra goes like so. It's a nice and easy one, somewhat. It's a nice and easy one this week. You drop your middle finger into the base of your thumb as close as you can get it. If you can't make it all the way to the base of your thumb, go a little bit further up your thumb or try to get it further into your palm. And if it doesn't touch at all, that's okay, because you're going to wrap your thumb right over top of that index finger. So whether it makes it to the base of your thumb or it just makes it down like this, cross that thumb over your finger. You will keep your pinky, ring, and pointer extended. This is the Shunya Mudra. This can be held anywhere for any length of time. We do always want to hold our mudras we do usually want to hold our mudras for a minimum of 5 minutes. This one is slightly different in the sense that it is a mudra for an acute issue. This is the mudra for earaches, tendinitis, vertigo, loss of balance. So it improves your balance and it can help treat earache, vertigo, improves our hearing, obviously, because it works on the ears, our receptivity to not only sound, but other people's expression. And my question at the beginning of this week was, does this help anybody's clairaudience? Does this improve clairaudience? Admittedly, I don't think I've seen a difference this week. So this mudra can be held anywhere, anytime. This is one of those mudras that is not a tonic mudra. This is not a mudra that you just want to do long-term regular use of just because it's cool to hold. This is not that mudra. This is a mudra for acute situations with vertigo, earache, tendinitis, and other issues in the ears and with your hearing. So it improves hearing, improves balance. Balance, yep. All right. So we're going to sit with this for 5 minutes. Even if you don't have any issues like that, there's no problem holding the mudra to just experience it. You may notice a little bit of ringing in the ears. I invite you to sit for these 5 minutes so that you can just feel what the mudra feels like. And then you have it in your repertoire for when you have an earache or are experiencing vertigo or motion sickness. That's the words I was looking for. Motion sickness. No matter what kind of travel, this is a really, really good mudra for motion sickness. Because with motion sickness, you don't actually usually have something to evacuate. It's just feeling really, imbalanced, vertigo, dizziness. this is the mudra you want for that. So, here we go. Go ahead and close your eyes. I will grab my timer and we're going to sit for 5 minutes with this mudra and we'll just see how it feels. I know I have some stuff in my ears. I've got some congestion, so that has been helping with this. This has been helping with that this week. So drop that middle finger into the base of your thumb. Cross your thumb across the middle finger. Keep the other 3 fingers extended. Rest it wherever you want. I'm going to put it in my lap because that's the traditional place to put such things. And I'm going to close my eyes. And all we are going to do during these 5 minutes is just bring our attention back to the mudra as many times as it takes. So I invite you to find an anchor. The anchor can be the feeling of holding the mudra in your hands. It can be the sound of your breath or the feeling of your heartbeat. It can be the tip of your nose. If you don't want to close your eyes, you can stare at the tip of your nose and spend the entire 5 minutes staring at the tip of your nose. The important part is if your attention wanders away and starts troubling you about tomorrow or yesterday or bringing up some past whatnot or some fear comes out of who knows where, bring your attention back to your anchor again and again and again. Imagine it like a pendulum, if you will. Each time it gets pulled off from center, we bring it back to center. And it will inevitably be pulled off of center, especially if we are new to meditation or new to mindfulness. And even we've been doing it for a long time, some days the mind is just busy. The important piece is to just accept where we are at and hold space for whatever comes up. Stay with it, no matter how much tension you find in your mind, in your body, in your breath. Inhale to acknowledge it exists, and exhale to give it permission to go. Present with the mudra, present with the breath. Nothing more, nothing less. almost there. Stay with the breath. Stay with the mudra. Take a deep breath in, hold at the top. Slowly exhale all the way, release your mudra. And bring your hands either into prayer or simply lay one over the other over your heart in gratitude for today's practice, in gratitude for the mudra and the tools that we can use to clarify and align and heal our systems, in gratitude for the prana that flows through our meat bags, leading us to our highest purpose, highest good in every moment. Offer yourself some gratitude for taking the time for self-care today. I'm fucking proud of you. You made it. And thank you for joining me in this CAYA space where we can learn and grow and thrive together. When you're ready to close your practice completely, I encourage you to rub your palms together and cup them over your eyes. Give your eyes a second to flutter open and adjust to the world before coming back completely. What's happening on TikTok, guys? Are there... Yeah. Okay, so remember, everyone, replays are on YouTube. It seems TikTok did some TikTok things today. Let's see. Let's find out. Thank you guys to everybody who's over on Instagram and YouTube. I'm sorry if you guys were having some issues on TikTok. It was freezing a lot today, Cassie. Okay, thank you. Well, hopefully the replay is smooth on YouTube, so I'm sorry, you guys, if we weren't able to follow along with class. Hopefully we can all just... That's okay. Life be lifin'. TikTok be tickin' and talking. I thought I saw some kind of notification a few minutes ago. So, or not notification, but... No. Freezing a lot and just made you fill out a questionnaire. Yay, Cassie, I'm glad you were able to do it. You were very welcome. Yeah, yeah. This is why cycling DNA, you are very welcome, my friend. This is why we do multiple platforms, right? Thought it was your internet. It shouldn't, I mean, you guys went through all the internet stuff with me recently, right? So hopefully it's not my internet, or we're calling our new Spectrum internet friend to come over and spend... We're going to have to cook him dinner this time if he's going to stay over. Is it still freezing now, guys? I don't know if it's if it's because of the multi-platforms. It was great on Monday. Working good. Okay, good. It was doing it yesterday as well. Okay. Good to know. Good to know. It's unfortunate because this is my favorite platform, because this is the platform where we get to do a lot more fun stuff. YouTube doesn't push out any of my stuff to the algorithm, and neither does Instagram, so. You know what? I was noticing that yesterday, that some videos that I was trying to watch weren't loading, like, at all. I heard the audio, but the screen itself wouldn't play at all. But I think I restarted my phone and tried again, and that was working better. I don't know. Who knows? The world is whirling. The world is whirling. And who knows how it's going to keep whirling. So I find it interesting that the further along our little technological advances get, like, it's 2024, man, right? I didn't have a cell phone when I was a kid, and now we have these things. But now you're telling me that none of this tech actually really works properly? Right? Pretty dudes, I would chime in. But we got to be careful about what we say on platforms now. The world is definitely worlding. And more than anything, I'm just feeling a lot of tension. You know, I was mentioning this morning about how I went into town yesterday and spent all day in town yesterday, which is a lot for me. I usually do not spend that long in town at one time. And it just felt like everybody everywhere was tense. You know, people driving a little faster, a little more recklessly, people being a little more curt with their voice, and like, it's just interesting to observe. Isn't it interesting to observe? I used to live in the Bay Area, Berkeley, Oakland, San Francisco area for a while. And I left that area many, many years ago. But mostly because it felt like I was living in a beehive that had been kicked. When I had first moved to the Bay Area, it wasn't like that. It wasn't so buzzy. I mean, there was definitely stuff going on, and that was exciting and cool. But this was different. It was as if the longer I was there, the more agitated everybody seemed to be getting. And obviously not directly to me, right? But the longer I lived there, the more agitated everybody got. And I left the city because of that. Now, and I actually moved up to Portland, which was a bit smaller at the time. And I found myself settled again, you know, in a place that had a good vibe. Yes, there were some places that were more agitated like that, but I felt like I didn't experience those as much. And then when I left Portland, it was because of the same thing. It was as if the people in these areas, as the population grew, as more and more people got there, as traffic got busier and busier, as more people were coming in and out of the store at the same time, you know, it was like the busier it got, the more populated it got, the more agitated and disconnected people got. And I've always loved, like, I love to travel. I love different cities. I have no problem with the city setting, but I don't know if I can survive in one. Right? I'm about to check with the planets, making me sad. So today is the full moon. The moon goes full at like 5 o'clock my time here on the West Coast. So 8 o'clock you guys time. It's actually it's hitting full moon early evening tonight. So tonight is the night. Tonight is the night to put out your water. I actually I apologize. I have not done any research about this moon, so I'm not even sure what sign it's in. But put your water out. Make sure that you take water back in if you're going to moonshine water. Sorry. Make sure you bring it back in before the sun comes up. Otherwise, it nullifies the moon juice in there. However, if you don't remember and it's foggy, it's fine. If it's sunny, it's whatever. If you want the best moon water, bring it in before the sun comes up. Right? On the West Coast. Porky Pig over here. So that's, yep, it's the full moon, guys, and this is a spicy one. This is a spicy one because I have been feeling it for several days now in my house. I feel like it's causing the animals to act crazy. It's causing, yeah. So if you can, maybe just like have a full moon party inside. Maybe like stay inside. I don't know. It feels a little purgy out in the world right now. So I'm gonna stay in the woods. We'll probably have a little fire because it's finally raining and fire season should be over now. There's so much tension all over, and I try so much to make it a mirror, to keep it a mirror for me, so that instead of seeing other people tense and going, God, they're so tense, they're in such a bad mood, it's them, right? I remind myself, oh, I'm probably extra tense too. If I see someone else in the world, you know, and I think I told you guys about it on like Sunday or Monday or Friday or whatever it was last week or Saturday. I don't know what it was. Last time I went, not yesterday when I went to the town, but I went to go get groceries a couple of days ago and I shouldn't have been out. Somebody was curt with me and I responded in kind, fought fire with fire, and possibly even amplified it a little bit because I was so fucking tense. And that was not fair. Drag the puzzle piece. There you go. That was not fair. And, you know, while we don't always have the capacity to make it right, we don't always have the capacity to apologize. Sometimes things happen in passing, you know, in traffic or in a store, and the event is gone and the person is long gone, and you're like, damn, that was me. Damn, that was me. I cut them off. I was angry. I was rude. I was short. I gave them a nasty look. Hey, Brian. And even if we can't always make it right, at least acknowledging it and not guilting ourselves for it, but again, taking it as a reflection of, oh, that's right. Sometimes I'm the asshole. Sometimes I'm tense. Regal poison. What do you do with moon water? Drink it, put it in your bath, wash things with it. I don't know. You can do any of the above, and it really just depends on what you feel comfortable with. I am a big fan of drinking moon water. I like to joke that it's why I'm so young. Why I still look so young is that I drink moon water. I drink moon water, and I usually try to drink it from the full moon all the way to the new moon. I actually have a really cool like incantation ceremony thing that I do from the full moon all the way to the new moon. Hell, maybe I'll share it with you guys. Why not? Maybe I'll share it with you guys. So, you can do that. You can also bathe in it. A lot of people like to wash their face in it. It will... you can cleanse stones with it. You can use it in spell work. You can use it in dream work and emotion work. You can use it in candle work. The big thing is you don't want to use moon water that is like an eclipse moon, or there's another one that you don't use, and I'm blanking on it right now. Yeah, you always want to sanitize your and purify before drinking from your water bottle. Yeah, so what I do is usually put it outside in glass jars, glass bottles, and then just drink straight from the glass bottle, because then it's a clean glass bottle. Then it gets charged. It gets charged with the moon water, so, or moon things. And your crystals. Charge your crystals. Put your bones outside. Put your feathers outside. Put your jewelry outside. Put whatever it is that's not going to get taken away by something or get ruined by the rain if it's raining where you are. That's the thing, is I won't put my other things out tonight, probably because of the rain. Some of my stones, yeah, the rain is really nice to cleanse the stones. Pooty Toots, last time I drank moon water, I got pregnant. Oh, shit. It's okay. You're a good boy. Thank you for letting me know. Yeah, I saw that. He did. He drove right by, huh? Did you see that? I saw that. I saw that car. I saw him drive right by. He's gone now, though. He's on the highway now. Yeah. Are you still concerned? Because I'm pretty sure he's on the highway. Oh, wait. There he is. No, he's gone. He's all the way gone on the highway. Yep, nobody's there anymore. Nobody's making any car sounds anymore. Silly dog. I love him, but you can't get in my lap. Putty tooth. Now it's spell moon water. No drink. No drinky. I'm curious, Putty Toots, what was it? And did any of you other guys, did anybody else get a, what's it called, survey asking you about the content on here? And I'm curious what they were asking you. Because I know sometimes they ask if there's undisclosed marketing or if the topic is good for, you know, if it's okay, appropriate for all ages, or if it's appropriate for social media, right? They'll ask you that kind of stuff. I'm just curious. Because I've seen those surveys on other things too. Yeah, there was probably not. You sent me a screenshot. Thank you, love. Thank you, love. Your elbow is directly deep inside of my hip bone. Are you trying to get on my lap? I think he's trying to get on my lap. So, full moon. What else do we do under the full moon? Go dance under the full moon, please. It's a really, 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 really good time. So the full moon is like reaping your harvest, right? This is the completion of the cycle. It's time to celebrate. It's time to celebrate. So it's not the time to like set your intentions for manifesting and things like that. It's a good time for gratitude. Yes, gratitude, celebration of what you have, of what you've experienced, of the good things that have come in, and remember to offer gratitude for the things that we judge as difficult, hard, shitty, what have you, right? When the new moon comes around, we'll talk about the new moon things to do, because that's when you set your intentions for the things that you want to manifest. That's when you clear out things from your life. Yeah. I think we'll just be doing a bonfire tonight, though. Dancing around the bonfire in the woods. You know, normal stuff. You coming over, Ree? Will I see you soon? Who wants to come join me for a bonfire? You live in Oregon? Get your butt down here. Got a couple hours. Saying that to a room full of what? 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 people? That's not a bad little party if everybody showed up. What? Is 11 not enough? Okay. Well, I'm not letting you outside so you can... Ow! I'm not going to let you outside so you can yell at them. Because it's not nice for you to go over there and yell at people just because they're in their yard. They're in their own yard. I wish. South of Boston? Dang it, Lola. It's a bit of a drive. Yes, badass blind woman. I love that. We'll do it together. Human starter kit. That's what we need. We need a human starter kits. Because the ones that we're using running off of right now are not very good starter kits. They're not human. They're robot starter kits. Are you getting some good scritches now? Is that what you needed? You just wanted all the attention. Mm-hmm. Is it a full supermoon? I think it is the last. Yes, I just saw something yesterday that said it's the last supermoon of the year. And like I said, I don't remember what sign it's in. Yeah, exactly. Pretty toots, if it's a supermoon, I'm definitely staying in and off the roads. I highly suggest, if you have the ability to stay in and do gratitude things, give yourself a beautiful, like, luxurious bath. You know what I mean? Make yourself something delicious. And, like, this is the time to celebrate. Pretend that you just successfully completed some cycle, because you did. You survived from the last full moon to this full moon. Regal Poison, I know. You got the whole setup, girl. See, I'm coming over to your place. You got the whole thing. My tub is really deep. I could have the whole thing, but as you guys see, my water heater is like only this big, and it's not an on-demand one. So we got to use kettles. Who knows? Maybe I'll start the fire in the house and just put some kettles on and just keep pouring hot pots of water like old style. I need myself a copper tub. Barely. Juliana, thank you. It's a Taurus full moon tonight. Ugh. Ground. 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 Lay on the ground. That's probably why I keep thinking of like luxurious stuff. One of the things I love about Taurians, about the Taurus sign, is there is an innate lavishness to the sign. There's an innate spoiling that happens, and I don't mean that in a bad way, right? I mean that like a Taurian knows how to take good care of themselves and of other people. They don't always choose to do it, but when they do, they can spoil the fuck out of you. And they also like to be spoiled. So that must be where that's coming from with this full moon. I'm really feeling the intuition to be like, spoil yourself, celebrate yourself, congratulate yourself for the fact that you made it from the last full moon to this full moon. In fact, I encourage you to take that on as a practice every single full moon. Who cares what happened between that full moon and this full moon, the last one and this one? You're here, you're alive. It's worth celebration. That would be me. I'm a Taurus. My son's a Taurus, and it's very interesting for me. I think as a Virgo who tends to deny myself pleasure in favor of other people, treating and taking care of other people, you know? So my scales are a little tipped where I will do a lot of that excess for others, but then struggle to do the excess for me. I am learning, and my Taurian son is actually teaching me very much about that. And I get to teach him the magic of taking care of others too, of sharing that generosity. And I have lovely people in my life like Juliana. I just want to I'm gonna put you right here because I want to shout out to you. I have some amazing people in my life, but this particular individual has been an inspiration for me showing up authentically, and not just authentically, but loving myself for it to a degree, with a kind of, and feel good about it and not feel bad for spoiling myself a little bit. So thank you, Juliana. Thank you a lot. There's like there's the little kid in me who's like really thank you. Like really. I know I have a lot of people in my life who are so sweet to me and so supportive, and I want to say thank you so much. And also, con mucho gusto. It's important to surround ourselves with people who are different from us, because this is how we get to gain the strength, right? And supports and reflections from others. If I surround myself with people who are the constant, like my Virgo, no, I must deny myself and take care of everyone else. If that's all I have around me, then we reconfirm that behavior over and over again. When I keep different people in my life, right, they reflect different things. Like, remember to play. Remember to be sweet to yourself. Remember it's okay to treat yourself to something. You know, it's okay to say no. It's okay to stand up for yourself. It's okay to set and hold a boundary just because it feels right to do so. What, little girl? Did you guys hear that tiny kitten mew? Mimi? Mimi? That cat has the tiniest little meows. I'm learning too, Badass Blind Woman, and that's why it's so important, right? To have community and have people around us who do care for us. You know, I was talking to my son the other day with this Taurus stuff, some of the Taurus stuff about the difference between love and care. And this is a really good one. This one, it really sunk in somewhere deep for me while we were talking about it, because I have spoken many times in my life about love, right? And I even really love the love languages, because it gives us a way to talk about how we give and receive love. But the biggest argument against it is that people will say love is not transactional, to which I do agree. Love is not a thing that is only determined if I buy you a thing or do a thing, right? Love is something that can exist even when we don't even connect, right? So what's the difference? How do we act on love? What is the act of love? It is the act of caring, showing that we care. Love is not transactional. Love can be unconditional. Love can exist even when we don't like each other. Care is the act of loving someone, of expressing our concern, our care, our love for those around us. And so we've been learning, practicing, right? Yes, we love each other, but we don't always like each other. Yes, we love each other, and I say, I love you. But if my actions don't reflect that I care, it doesn't feel the same, does it? Remembering always that as we have these conversations with others, we remember to offer the same reflections to ourselves. Right? Like Alice says, that's my problem. I'm always giving good advice. I always give myself good advice. I just very seldom follow it. How many years I spent teaching people to take care of themselves, teaching people to set their boundaries, teaching people to value themselves, all while I was devaluing myself. You deserve sweetness. You deserve pleasures in life. You deserve to feel cared for. Unfortunately, we can't control the world or anybody outside of us, so sometimes that means learning to care for ourselves. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that any of these tools are going to fix everything. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that once you start practicing meditation, everything's just going to be peaceful, go lucky, and there is no quick fix. There is no just... We were talking about Pootie Toots this morning. We were talking about the buttons. There's no just buttons to press to change things. It's not about changing things. It's not about fixing things. It's not about stopping things or saving things or... The most powerful thing that we can do is learn to be present. Because right here and right now is all that exists. The person who nearly hit me head on yesterday when we went into town no longer exists in my world. But if I let it, that feeling, that memory will store itself in my body and then perpetually replay itself again and again and again. Next time I get in the car, I've been in accidents where for months later, I had major anxiety every time I got in the car, right? Because I'd feel the accident again. Everything I experience is inside of me. Even a car accident. If we walked around the world through our day, reminding ourselves again and again that there is no other. There is no other. There is no other. These are all just mirrors for me. These are all just reflections. And how would you speak to the person who was wound up in the grocery store? How would you speak to the person who cut you off in traffic? We can't change the world. Hey, Leb. We can't change the world. Which means we can't control the world either. Which means we can't make the world shut the fuck up so we can meditate. We can't make it calm the fuck down so we can be at peace. And if we focus on that, we can feel really powerless. As if we can't affect anything. But the greatest power you have is the ability to affect what goes on inside of you. Badass blind woman. The Wineverse? Is that what you just said? It's a universe? Did you just misspell it intentionally? Wineverse? Like, why? Universe? Like people whining? Is that what you're saying? Or was it just a typo? Or is it supposed to be said something different? I have a lot of really spicy pirates in my head today. In part because of yesterday's experiences and because I was repeatedly... How do you say that on TikTok without them stopping you? Yeah, Detleb, isolation can do many things to a person. That was a typo, but I really like the misspelling. There's a Wineverse out there. Yeah, I think the paradox is the fact that we are in isolation. We are, but we aren't. Right? If I can perceive all of this outside of me through my senses, then there must be some sort of validity to it, or some sort of validity to it. But the depth of what I experience within is so much more expansive. And this is so limited. And in that way, I am isolated. In that way, I do feel separate. In that way, I am constantly reminded of my disconnection from everything. But that, I believe, is a misperception, a misconception that we've been given, that we've been offered, that we've been told that the most important things that you have are your eyes and your ears and your nose and your mouth and your feels and all that stuff. And if you can't perceive it from those things, then it doesn't exist. But again, we talk about it in here that the universe is so much more intangible and just this little like pea size of tangible. And the universe, or not universe, our culture, right? Society says, our caregivers, whatever, says only look at the pea. That's all this pea size unit. This is it. That's all there is to the universe. That's all there is to reality. And better eat your peas. if I can observe this thing, then I am outside of this thing. Then it is not me. And if I can observe these things outside of me, then where am I? You don't need isolation to feel alone and lost. You don't need isolation to feel completely removed from everything. But, and, one thing isolation does do is remove all the distractions, all the places that we can lay blame outside of ourselves. Because then the only messes in my house are mine. The only one that's talking shit to me is me. The only one not completing my tasks is this guy. I think it's important for people to take a time in their life where they do spend time by themselves. But again, it's the journey of the lone wolf. It's not intended to be long term. It's not intended to be the perpetual state. We don't thrive in it. Not forever. Yeah, Leb, when you lived as a hermit, you certainly had to wrestle with a lot of things inside yourself. I actually would really like to go, if you get an opportunity to do like a silent meditation, silent retreat, I would suggest doing those kinds of things. It's a version of isolation while still being safely around other people. I personally would really, really like to try the sensory deprivation, like putting myself in a completely pitch black room, right, for a couple of days. That I would fucking love to do. Yeah. I've done days of silence, which are really powerful. If you're not quite ready for total isolation or total darkness, you can do hours or days of silence. We notice a lot more. Gives us the opportunity to see things from a different perspective. Experiment. Really all this is fucking shenanigans. Elle, you'll take a weekend in the dark too? Sweet. Have I heard of the salt tub therapy? The one where they put you in like a pod and you lay in the really salted water so you're super buoyant, so you like float in there and you don't, yeah. Yeah. Yes, I have. I don't know how long they do those for. I think, yeah. I have. I don't know if I'd be okay with the water. Um, mhm. Yeah. Or enclosed, but I guess darkness is also enclosure. But in darkness, I'm okay. If I know that the walls are there, I feel scared, sort of. I have a little bit of claustrophobia. Yes, Leb. Good point, right? There's a point at which when you're doing your days of silence that the inner monologues actually quiet down too. Oh, yes, your husband wants to do that. Your husband wants to do the little pod thing? Nice. I know that there are actually like retreat places where you can go and just be silent or just be in the dark for days. What do you need? Do you want to go in the dark? I don't think you do. What? He says, I'll go wherever you go. I'll go wherever you go. If you go, I go. If you go, I go. Thank you for coming with me yesterday. Thank you for coming with me yesterday. Once we get that Did I tell you guys? I got approval to get him trained as a service dog. Yay! So we got to get him set up with somebody, and then he's going to get to go with me all the time, everywhere. I think he's excited about it. He went yesterday. Yes, Elle says a sensory deprivation tank. Yeah. I don't know. The claustrophobia thing I don't like. I tell you, I don't like it. I'm so proud of him, too. I feel like that's... Is this a scab that you have on you? Did you get a scratch? Hold on. Let me see it. Let me see it. Good boy. Also, hi. Hey, Bill. How are you? He's already super attentive, yes. So I'm really excited. So essentially what they have approved me for, because I have neurogenic thoracic outlet syndrome, right? The only solution for neurogenic thoracic outlet syndrome and the bulging discs and fractured vertebra that I have is surgery. And I have heard from people who have gone through surgery. Oh shit. YouTube just dropped off. Sorry guys. I have heard from people who have gone through surgery and it did not go well at all. They are oftentimes worse off or otherwise. I just saw an acupuncturist for the first time in many years, but I saw one yesterday and I was talking to her about, you know, the methods and things that I would like to do. You see and hear me? Okay, nice, Elle. Good. It just showed on this side. And she pointed out that she is the oftentimes, you know, sort of people's last resort after they've done surgery, after they've done physical therapy for things like this. And she goes, it's really hard to see what happens to the spine when they fuse the vertebra like that, which is what they'd want to do. So I'm not going that route. I'm going to hold out if I can get all the way through the rest of this lifetime without having to do surgery on my spinal column. That will be the bee's knees. So what I spoke to my doctor about was was getting him trained for when stress starts to wind me up, right? I've talked about this before. I've been doing work on this, and this is the biggest reason I've been doing mindfulness for the past several years and why I teach it to you guys, because it's got me out of daily awful high stress pain and to the point where I can now manage it much better. And what I'm going to do is get him trained so he can see when I start to wind up with anxiety or, you know, any of the other PTSD symptoms, right? When that stuff starts to kind of wind up in my body, he will tell me to chill the fuck out. You gonna bring me a chill pill? Huh? What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Are you gonna sit on me? Are you gonna jump on me? What you gonna do? Are you gonna bring me a ball? What are you gonna do? What do you think? What should we train you to do? What do I need? He's already ready. I know, right? He's already like... And I think that's why he wanted to go with me yesterday. He already does a lot of it. So now it's just about training. All we're going to be doing basically is training him to be hyper attentive to that particular thing. And to be able to notice it. And he already does. Like yesterday when I was in the car, I had a bit of a meltdown. It was already at the end of our day and I had forgotten yet another errand and I had 0 spoons left to drive back into town and go do that errand that I really needed to do yesterday, but unfortunately didn't get done. And I had to stop the car. I had to park the car to have a bit of a off gas, a little bit of a meltdown just to let that energy out. I was so frustrated with myself. And he came from the back seat up into the front seat and he put his head on the little center console there, right? And he started pawing at he does this thing, he'll paw at my arm to get him to pet him. So he was pulling my arm. He put his head down on the thing and then he started to pull my arm over and I was like, okay. So I need to look into that. My nervous system got fried from all the stress and I allowed it to soak in. Little by little, I'm coming back. Yeah, Elle, I think a lot of us are in that place of just chronic stress, chronic tension has caused us there's physical repercussions for it, right? talk to your doctor. I know that there's a difference, right, between a service dog and an emotional support dog. And what I was told was that specifically for things like PTSD, they usually don't train a service dog for PTSD, but they will train an emotional support dog, or you can have an emotional support dog for PTSD. The only reason I was able, or it seems to be one of the reasons I was able to get my doctor to approve it, is specifically because I have the diagnoses, and and the course of action that I want to take to treat the diagnoses, the chronic conditions, is to have him alert me rather than to do a surgery. And so in that way, I think we're going to be able to finagle it to get it approved. Yeah. So you can work around. And I think it's coupled. So I have the neurogenic thoracic outlet syndrome, and then I was also diagnosed with Ehlers-Danlos, however you say it. Yeah. So the combination of the two means that even if I do surgery, the surgery may not do what it needs to do because things are still going to keep slipping around. So I think the combination of those two, that even if I did surgery, it wouldn't be a viable option for me because I also have the Ehlers-Danlos. Leb, have fun. I might be on for a while. Bill, I recommend retirement. If you can believe it, this is retirement. You guys, I should tell you my story. Like, let's see, hold on. Badass Blind Woman. How do you feel the acupuncture went yesterday? Are you noticing relief? Oh my holy goodness. Let me tell you at length about how much I love acupuncture and why you should do acupuncture. Remember, I'm an energy worker, have been since I was a kid. Acupuncture works with the energy meridians. If you are at all sensitive, or even if you, it doesn't matter if you're sensitive or not, go try acupuncture. If you don't like needles, let me tell you, it's not like getting a shot. It's not like having a nurse come in and go bam into your fucking arm or butt cheek with a thicker needle. These are very, very thin, and they are typically only very lightly tapped into the very top layer of the skin. It doesn't go deep. And here's the reality though. I want to add this though. There are certain places, sometimes it will be spicy. Sometimes it does give you a reaction. Yes, sometimes, like yesterday, we did 3 of them right here in my wrist, and one of those fucking hurt. But it was just brief. And then I felt it release the energy through my thumb and my index finger. I could feel it start moving around energy. The beautiful thing about it, right? You reacted so well to acupuncture, Jessica, good. Yeah, I highly recommend acupuncture. I can't speak highly enough of it. The important part really is to just focus on your mindfulness when you're in acupuncture. Relax, relax, relax. And anytime tension starts to build again, relax, relax, relax. Remember, energy, you can think of it like water moving through the channels in your system. If you're tense, it's going to be a lot harder for that energy to move freely. So acupuncture opens up those blockages, opens up the channels. Acupuncture does a lot of what mudras do, but more directly in the middle of that channel versus from this end of the channel. So like after pregnancy, you're going to have to. You really wanted a piercing, so I'm cool with being poked. You can do it during pregnancy as well, and they'll just treat you a little bit differently during pregnancy. I can't speak enough to acupuncture, how effective, how healing it is. Did I still have a meltdown yesterday on my way home? Yes, I did. But I found a lot more relief. Normally, when I get home from something like that, I am in pain. Yesterday, like I said, we had like a near accident a couple of times from other people just like coming into my lane or cutting in front of me and shit like that. It was a lot of tension yesterday, a lot of stress for me yesterday. And usually I would have come home absolutely in pain. I would have had to lay down. I would have probably been in pain today. And I contributed to the fact that I went and did acupuncture, because I was already feeling the stress beforehand. I laid down for the 30-minute or so session that we did, and I felt a lot more relief afterwards, and I was able to manage myself better, my physical self better. And also, it allowed me to notice that my emotions were coming up and expanding and getting intense. So it gave me the opportunity to pull over and let the emotions out instead of not noticing and being so tense that they already gripped a hold of me and caused a, yeah. Yes, Elle, you're welcome for the information. You say with what's going on, so they're trying to figure out, yeah, they're trying to figure out what to do. You're healing yourself in the meantime, and that's it. That's what I've been doing for the last several years. I only received these diagnoses this year, like last month. Um, and for the past 3 years or so, this is what I've been doing. Yeah. So at this point with the diagnoses, I'm able to tell my doctor I'm already treating it basically, right? I'm treating it with yoga, I'm treating it with mindfulness, I'm treating it with dance and a hula hoop and nutrition and herbs and things like that. We're testing my levels of nutrients and things so that we can balance out my B12 and my D3 and all of the other stuff. You don't need a diagnosis for that. But they help to get other services and stuff. Buddha Jutsu, you've heard a lot of acupuncture can bring a lot of gunk to the surface. Yeah, absolutely. It can. I mean, any sort of clearing thing, right, can bring up things. But remember, when things come up, they're coming up to be let go. They're being offered up. I like to think about it like they come up because they're being offered up by the body. Hey, Jay Falcon, how are you, friend? I feel you say you inspire me. You're doing so much. I feel like I'm doing so little. The reality is I feel like I'm doing so little. Yes, Elle, you were in a wheelchair 2 winters ago, and this winter you're dancing and playing with your daughter. The doctors are like, whoa. Fuck yeah. Fuck yes. Keep it up. I like it. I like having the doctors go, what? Thank you, Jay Falcon. I really, like, again, even today, my head has been really spicy. As I said earlier, I woke up from some ideation dreams where I was taking myself out repeatedly in different ways. I spent all last night exiting this lifetime in various different ways, and I woke up in the last version, the last iteration of that. So I almost didn't come to class. I almost didn't teach class because part of me said, "Don't fucking teach class if you're not in a good mood or you're not in a good space." And then I reminded myself that yes, I do these classes and do these things so I can share the information, but I do them for me. I do them for me. Why do I do them live if they're just for me? Because it gives me the opportunity, because part of me likes to share. So it fuels me and it helps me feel good and it helps me stay accountable to me. If I didn't have this, you guys here, I'd probably skip out on my practice today. And in that way, I break trust with myself. So thank you for helping me keep trust with myself by showing up even when I'm not in the best space. Thank you for holding space for me. Jay Falcon, you say you feel like you've been processing so much, it keeps bubbling out of me to be acknowledged. Not easy. Yeah. Especially this last week, I have felt an overwhelming surge rolling through me again and again and again. And I have to remember, everything happens inside of me, and also everything also happens to the collective too. It's not just me. Everything is micro macro. Yes, I am an entire universe unto myself, and I am just a drop in this fucking ocean. And if the rest of the drops around me are all freaking the fuck out too, guess what? That temperature, that energy is going to flow through me too. So when the world, the collective, is struggling, is tense, is going through suffering, expect that some of what you're carrying, some of what you're experiencing may just kind of be smelling other people's farts too. Everybody's got a lot of gas right now. Don't hold it in. Don't hold it in. If you need to cry, go find a good song on TikTok. Go find the video I made and cry with me. If you need to cry, go grab a good movie and fucking sob it out. If you need to scream, go put on some music and go dance. In your living room, on your front porch, better if you can get in the backyard where nobody's watching. Fuck if anybody else is watching, who cares? I turn off my porch light and I dance so hard and so loud on my porch when I am feeling overwhelmed and full of all that energy. And even when my head is like, I don't want to fucking dance, I'm not in the good mood, I don't want to fucking do that. If I start playing, skipping through Spotify, eventually something will catch my body. Give yourself permission to grieve. Give yourself permission to feel. Give yourself permission to fart. Jessica, I didn't do the best in public this week. Can we pause for a moment? I want everybody to pause for a moment and bring your hands up to your heart. Take a deep breath in. Feel the way the breath lifts on your heart. Lifts your heart. Exhale. Let the heart come back down. Inhale again, and this time, inhale some grace. Offer yourself some compassion. Exhale any tension, any guilt. It's okay to not be okay. It's okay to have a bad day or a bad week or a bad month. It's okay to sometimes be the asshole. It's okay to not have the right words all the time. It's okay to cry for no reason. It's okay to feel like you just need to fucking scream. Breathe it in. And let it go. Breathe it in. Make space. And set it free. You are exactly where you need to be. Exactly as you need to be. You are not beyond repair. You are not unforgivable. You are perfect. You are loved. And you are held. If you'd like to, take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, sink back into your seat, bed, chair, wherever you're sitting, and imagine that you are leaning back on God's chest. Imagine that Christ is wrapping his arms around you. Imagine that divinity or the Great Mother is wrapping her shroud around you. You are safe. You are perfect. You are held. There is nothing that you could do that would make you unlovable. There would be nothing that you could do that would make you unworthy of being held, of being seen, of being loved, and being cared for. Breathe it in. Acknowledge it, confirm it, accept it, and let any doubt go. Let all that that resistance melt away, sink in deeper. Imagine that hug, that wrap, those arms shrinking down to encapsulate your heart. Your heart is wrapped in love, in divine, unconditional love, care, and support. One more deep breath in to confirm it. And exhale to let any resistance to it go. And before you open your eyes, rub your palms together, cup them over your eyes, offer gratitude for the opportunity to feel loved, to feel safe, to feel seen and heard and valid. To rest in God's love. Only opening your eyes when you're ready. You are almost always doing better than you think you are. Badass blind woman. I get to practice loving the part of me that tells me these self-love practices are BS. Yes. Yes. Yeah. 3 years ago, I was doing the same thing. 3 years ago, I told you guys, I was in such an awful, awful, awful spot. If I had been alone without my son, I wouldn't be here. But I knew something happened. Something had to happen. Something had to happen. But everything inside of me said, fuck you. I don't want to self-care. This is a bunch of bullshit. I obviously am not valuable. I'm a fucking retard. I'm fucking stupid. I fucking did, sorry for the non-PC things. The pirates are not PC. So what did I do? I laid out my yoga mat and I showed up for myself every single day for 15 minutes. And for the first several weeks, that meant just listening to myself bitch and scream and cry and rage on into the night. I had to love myself, the part of myself that didn't want to love me first. There is this totally random show there's an episode where a teenage girl is causing chaos for everybody else in the house. She's purposely, trying to get people upset, trying to create fights and whatnot and create chaos. And most everybody is responding to her by fighting back and being mean back and pushing her back, right? And pushing her out and not wanting her in the space and stuff like that. But then one person realized, turned around and said, and was like, but wait a minute, right? She's doing this because she's mad about whatever, right? And instead of reprimanding her at all for her behavior, this one person who saw that did a really generous, thoughtful thing for her instead. I have a violation for hate speech and hateful behaviors. And I just click, my live does not contain the content mentioned in the notice. Submit. Thank you for your feedback. We'll use it to make the community better. And what happened when she did this generous thing? But that teenager melted. All of her angst, all of her pushy, fighty divisiveness melted away because she needed to be loved. And I think about the way that we treat each other in the West, where we push each other away and we vilify each other and we condemn each other and we punish for pain. We punish on others for being in pain. Hurt people hurt people. And if we all just keep poking at each other, ain't nobody gonna heal. I don't understand a world that is so divisive and so angry and so I do understand it because I see it as hurt, because I know that it's hurt. I know that it's pain. And some people deal with pain through sorrow and pulling inwards, and some people deal with pain by pushing outwards and hurting others. And while there's actual hate speech out there, actual people spreading horrific ideals, concepts, saying inhumane things to each other, it's creators like me, right, who get the hate speech violations. A world that does not take care of its children does not value its children. A world that does not take care of its teachers and healers and does not value those things. I no longer need to be valued by the machine because I'm learning to value myself. Thanks, Jessica. And I encourage all of you to do the same. Because as I remove myself from the need to be valued by the machine, it reduces the triggers of not being valued by the machine. Even if we end up every class with 7 people in the room, because you 7 people are the only people who really wanted to actually show up. That's okay. I no longer need to fight the world as much as I used to. But that does not mean that I'm going to go away. That I'm going to stop trying. It doesn't mean that I'm going to stop showing up. And it doesn't mean that I will ever, 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 ever tell that part of me that hopes that the world will find healing, that people can find their way out of suffering. I will never lock her away. I will never shut her down. And I don't care how silly or immature or ignorant people want to say that it is. I believe that there is value to believing in others. I believe that there is value to believing in the good in the world and the light in the world. I won't ever be all love and light. But we have to start somewhere. The wind may blow the candle out again and again and again and again. But I and you have this eternal flame that never never goes out. So I will keep lighting it again, 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 and again. As many times as it takes. As much rain as they pour down. As much as they try to flood us out. As much as they take away the oxygen or try to snuff out the fire. It is a fire that no one can touch. I know, I was snapping my fire. I was snapping my fire, not snapping at you. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to get you all excited. In the last week or so, I have had several interactions with family and friends and people in general, strangers, acquaintances. Where my only response really has just been, well, I'm glad to hear you're okay. Well, I'm happy to hear your voice. While they're spitting venom, pushing divisive rhetoric, repeating the same taglines in all the memes all over the fucking social media, and it makes me remember how vulnerable we all are. Especially when we're isolated, especially when we're not communicating, especially when we feel like there's so many others in our life. It leaves us vulnerable to being manipulated. And I don't think I will ever change that perspective, that someone who chooses divisiveness, hate, and to hurt others is not balanced, is not well. Badass blind woman, I am grateful for these practices. Otherwise, I may have ended up in prison this week. Same! Isn't it so nice to realize that you can temper such things? I made a couple little videos yesterday, actually, because I was using these practices while I was in town. Same, Pootie Toots. We have a couple people piping up going, yeah, seriously. Bill, when you said that the next 4 years are going to challenge us all, I feel like we really can use it as an opportunity to challenge us to be more loving, to hold more space for each other, to be more understanding, to seek to understand each other first instead of argue with each other and divide each other first. You too, Elle? Yes, it is going to challenge us, but we choose that challenge. We can perceive the challenge as if there is an other who is fighting against us and attacking us and trying to take us down. And then we slip ourselves right down into the rabbit hole of the matrix. I invite you to stay above and out of the matrix so that when someone comes throwing proverbial fists and proverbial, and literal, whatever, be radical enough to not just swing back, to not just throw words back. Be radical enough to choose a different road. No, I'm not saying let yourself be attacked or accosted. No. But choosing a different road can be simply choosing not to argue. Because what's the purpose? What are you going to win? Ego. That's all. Our need to be right is about ego and about safety. Remember, ego is about safety. So instead of needing to be right, maybe just focus on feeling centered, feeling balanced. Be brave enough to hold space for people who are hurting deeply. Again, hurt people hurt people. So if you see people hurting others, recognize that it comes from a place of hurt. And in this way, use the next 4 years to cultivate compassion, to cultivate empathy to a depth you've never experienced before. Cultivate presence and balance in a way that lifts you out of the muck and mire, and by doing so, will model the same for others. Be the world you want to see. Don't be the change, just be the world you want to see. Be the person you want to run into in the store. Elle says, I was always friendly to my bullies because I knew that they had to have it worse than I did at home. We never know, right? And that's just it. We never know if they had it worse or better, and it doesn't even matter. Like, what matters is that clearly they're struggling, right? Struggling within that frame, struggling within that container. Jessica, I have to remind myself that we're in Earth School. They're in a very different grade than I. I just want to offer, part of my raisings, I just want to offer a shift in perspective, Jessica. And this is just one personally that has really helped me a lot. When I perceived the world as grades that were progressive, I accidentally slipped repeatedly into the sense of hierarchy, that I was at a grade above other people. And that did not serve my ability to be compassionate and empathetic towards others, my ability to accept where others are at and to value them for what they offer and for where they're at, and not look down from where I'm at. So instead, I shifted it more to be our own little, our own little world, but a flat realm, not this hierarchical. I think of it more like, a university. And if somebody's going to learn math, you're going to learn math over here. And somebody who's going to learn, language or love or other things like this, you're going to learn these things over here. Art, you're going to find these different classrooms. So I look at it like classrooms. Not so much hierarchical grades, just an open field, maybe a little more like Minecraft, right? Like an open field of experience that we get to explore. And I also do at the same time believe there's kind of a young soul, old soul thing, but I look at that also as, if you're a young soul in this earth, you could have very well be a very expansive, wise, whatever thing outside of this earth, and it's just the condition for you to learn what you need to learn. And remember that there is not always, right? There is also a burden to coming in as an old soul where you feel like you see and perceive things that other people's aren't in this world. And you're like, wow, now I feel totally separate and different from everybody. And right? Like, so there's pros and cons to every path. And I'm not condemning that framework if it works for you. I'm only sharing that in my journey, in my exploration of authentically valuing other people, I had to stop seeing them as less than me. everything is an elective, Bill, right? Everything is an elective. Well said. In Earth School, realize that everything is an elective. When someone comes and offers you a lesson and pushes a book in your face, pushes their emotion in your face, right? Be like, look, read this, learn this lesson. It's elective. It is an elective. You can choose to engage and receive that gift or that lesson or that thing from it. Or you can say, hey, you know what? Not today. I'm not interested in studying algebra today. I'm actually doing art class. Oh, yeah. I learned about soul plans last year. Yeah. Jessica, you're saying you're just tired of doing the earth human thing. You know, one thing that I feel like a lot of people have been talking about for some time, and now there's even a term for it. I don't know if it existed before recently, but there's a term for the longing of a home that never existed. Yes? So many of us are experiencing this collective feeling of loss and exhaustion and being tired and just not, like this human thing kind of sucks. What the fuck? I think that it's a product of how far away from ourselves we've been led. We've been taught to look everywhere else except for where our true home exists, except for where God exists. Go look for God in all these other places. Yet the whole time, he's going to be right under your nose. I don't want to say it's on purpose, but let's just say it's by design. It's a byproduct of the design of the system we're in right now. You have been sorry, the pirates are analogizing. Hold on. The pirates are analogizing. They're like, okay. So there's wild dogs, right? Wolves and coyotes and all these things, and those are free to be themselves, and wild and free and not contained by the world or by the structures of the world. And we are also such animals in a similar way, in the capacity to be so fully ourselves. Yet when some come in with the intention of using the energy that we have, for example, so I'm not talking about manipulation, right? I'm just saying, look, there are these wolves that would work really well for helping me pull my sled through the snow. So why not just start feeding them little treats and cultivating, bringing them in closer, slowly domesticating these animals until we can use their resources, use their energy, use their strength, use their skills. It's been cultivated for a reason, because there was a purpose. Let's get out of the nefarious, like, blame shit and, pointing fingers, but let's look at it like, oh, because we have wild hearts, because God runs through our very veins, that is why you feel like you're not at home, in a home that doesn't allow you to do that and be that, in a culture that doesn't allow you to do and be that. The culture, the stipulations, the system, the paradigm is all very recent and new and made up. Your evolutionary impulse of your genetics, of your body, has been around a whole fuck ton longer than the system itself. So yeah, your body is wise. Your body does have an innate knowing that is much, that is informed by many, 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 many more generations than this particular system is, than this particular culture is. That's why we do this practice in here of mindfulness, of coming into the body, into our systems, and truly for the first time beginning to value ourselves for who we are, beginning to value and authenticate who we feel and that expression of it, and allowing it to be, and finding where it may have been misappropriated, right? My brain's trying to go back to the dogs and about how like there's an alpha dog, and using, maybe the alpha dog energy got misdirected because of the culture, because of the situation they were in, and instead of the alpha dog being able to be the alpha dog, the people put the alpha dog in another spot, and so the alpha dog just ended up being an aggressive dog, or a mean, or a bad dog, or a poorly behaved dog. That's not a poorly behaved dog. That is an alpha dog who is not able to express its energy as it's naturally intended to do so, and so it comes off as out of balance, as unwell, as unhealthy. So if you have been spending your life trying to balance on your fucking right pinky toe while also holding 16 plates with, a basketball in between each one on your left index finger, and you've got, you get the point, right? If you have been spending your life misappropriating your energy because that's what's been modeled to you, then you're going to feel unwell, you're going to feel out of balance, and it's going to continue to cause tension and pressure until you find balance. The body does not stay out of balance very long. The body does not like to be unwell. It hurts. It causes tension, which causes pain, which becomes our suffering. And yet, because the system needs you to offer up your resources, it'll say, no, that's not suffering. No. You just need to satisfy that with something else. Here, buy this new fancy thing, buy this thing, try this supplement, try this thing, buy this, purchase this workshop, purchase this class, purchase this, pay thousands of dollars for the right coach and the right guru. Wow, they can sell you a shit ton when you're out of balance, when you're not well, and you don't know how to align yourself and heal yourself. Well, then they're going to throw all the snake oil at you they can for whatever fucking price they can charge for it. And the real shit, they're going to make it inaccessible. We don't want you to heal. Who would buy the medicines? Anyway. Start here. Start at home. Start within yourself. Learn what your energy actually needs. Learn what your energy actually wants. Learn where it really feels good to go. Feels right to go. And keep your eyes peeled, because I am going to put that workbook together, and we're going to spend all next year, like I said, even if we have just 12 people in class, all next year. I don't care. Those of you who want the information, those of you who want to explore your energy bodies and learn about your chakras and aura and koshas and elements and channels and all the things, we're going to do all of that next year. Okay? From January to December, we are going to go through every layer of your energy body, of your energy self, so that you can feel empowered. You can have the tools that you need to learn how to truly purpose your energy the way that it's meant to be. This is what I've been doing for the past 3 or so years. And it has given me leaps and bounds in healing that I never expected. So instead of charging you guys thousands of dollars, instead of making it uber exclusive, instead of paying in and buying into this system that wants you to be unwell and wants it to be an exclusive thing for you to heal, we're going to do the radical thing and make it public. Make it free. Remember that all next year, the classes that will, the live classes will always be free. The classes I hold in Discord will absolutely be free. I will make the workbook, and I will charge for the workbook because I'm going to put a bunch of energy into making this really cool book for you guys. I always try to make things affordable. I don't like to put a high price tag on. I'm very much the kind of person who believes that if I can sell something for like, you know, 5, 10, 15 bucks, then more people can get it, and that's better. It's not about me getting rich. It's about you getting the information. I need you to have this information. I need you to have this. Yes. Yes. It feels that important. And partially because I'm tired of suffering, and I know you are too. And honestly, I love you. I'm tired of seeing you suffer. Because it reflects back to me how I am also doing the same. So let's get the fuck out of it. Yes, babe?
The plate, I cannot get it all.
Okay.
I am like melt the edge to get it.
Okay. Well, wait a minute. I'm going to come help you. We're not going to melt the plastic plate more. Okay.
You're the best.
You're the best too. I love you.
Love you too.
So I hope you guys will join me next year. Again, we're starting in January and with the aura. And we're going to start, actually, I realized the other day that we're going to start with the aura. And like the whole outer energy body. And we're going to talk about the mind mapping. So we're going to couple these energy body with the cognitive body, because the map that I create, the story that I tell myself day in and day out about myself, about my life, about other people, about a certain situation, deeply influences my whole energy body. So I really want to couple these things, and I want to start the year off with us examining what maps we have, what stories we are telling ourselves, and then how that's affecting our energy body when we are in certain stories or when we're bringing up different stories. So that's where we'll start in January. In February, we're going to, I believe we're going to go from the earth up. You got me pumped over here. I'm so glad you guys are excited, because I'm really excited about it too. It kind of feels like the culmination of not all of my life's work, but a really, really big piece of it. And I'm super excited to be able to do it in this way, where I can offer the classes for free. I don't have to market to you guys. I don't have to charge anybody. I don't have to manipulate anybody. I don't have to do fancy marketing ploys and whatever. I can just keep telling you guys how fucking cool this is. And then when class happens, you'll either show up or you won't. And that's okay, because I'll be able to fucking share it. So, all month long, each month, I will offer you all the tools in my toolbox. Yes, that will mean mudras and mantras. That will mean asanas and meditations. That will mean herbs and foods and types of dance and music and frequencies and colors and all the things. I will offer all the tools for each layer of self as we move through the year. Gives us all something to look forward to, right? I can't believe it's already it's our December, right? I had an acupuncture yesterday, and we went and scheduled more appointments, and she was like, okay, I have you schedule you in December. I was like, what? Oh wait, that's next month. What? So that's what I'm doing. And as I said on Monday, tentatively, but also can be centered when I say it, I am going to take a lot of the month of December off. I think I probably will keep this Friday class. I think this is the only class I'm going to keep live. I may do random lives. I actually might start, I have a book that I really have been wanting to read to you guys, so I might shift and just do a couple of lives a week where I'm reading this book that I wanted to share with you guys, because I want to focus all of my energy on building that workbook. I want this workbook to be a workbook that you can use to record how you feel each day, what color your energy body is, what emotions are rising and falling, and what tools help with those things. I'm going to throw everything in my toolbox. We're going to empty my whole fucking toolbox so that you guys can have all these things on how to affect your energy body. It'll be your job, your guru's job, right? Your inner guru to decide, hey, that Shukri Mudra, that's something I need every day. And then you do it and you record it in your book and you record when you do it and how it makes you feel so that you have a record of, oh, that's right. When I got in a car accident back in July, what mudra did I use and what mantra did I use? And that made me feel blah, 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 right? You can record these things and you can keep them all in this workbook. So that said, again, this workbook is not required. You can just go get yourself a cute little journal that you love and keep track of all these things, okay? I'm not in the business of making you purchase something so you can receive these tools. Yes, I spent a lot of money and a lot of time on gathering these tools. But that's a privilege. I had the privilege of being able to spend 12 years in university and still get more certifications and more workshops. I had the privilege of the fact that my parents were Marines, and so the VA paid for a good bit of my college. I was able to earn grants and things like that, and not everybody has that privilege. And it's really, honestly, bad words. A slew of bad words that I wanted to say that were insulting to the system, that you have to be privileged enough to pay for this information that gives you your ability to heal yourself. That's not it. Taz. So, I am Move with Change here on TikTok and over on YouTube. Those are the two most important places to follow me because my class replays will always be on YouTube. I do have a membership option for extended class replays, but know that I keep them open usually several weeks at a time because I rarely go in and put them back in the archive. So you may have several weeks to even a couple of months of classes on there. But if you want to support the work that I do, you can go to my Patreon page, patreon.com/movewithchange, and you can support me through all different membership levels or just a one-time donation. Whatever you guys feel comfortable doing is fine. I am not pushing on any of it. I just want you to know that it's there. And I do offer private coaching because that's something I get asked often. Yes, I do offer private coaching. I don't talk about it too much on TikTok because then it dings me for undisclosed marketing. So go check out the Patreon page. I Move with Change over there. Go follow me on YouTube so you can get all the replays. I Move with Change there. And if you want to follow me somewhere else, Instagram, TikTok, or Instagram, Facebook, X, Clapper, fucking Kick, and Twitch, I'm on all those places, and sometimes I go live on those other places too. But we are always on YouTube and TikTok. And, thank you, June. I love you. Kate, going to check things out further. Yay, good. Okay, so, and then the Patreon page is where you're going to find that workbook. And the Patreon page is also where you're going to find the link to get into our Discord. The Discord is free as well. Money is not king in this place, in this space. The Discord is free, and the Discord space is where we get to hang out outside of the social media platforms, outside of the algorithm, outside of the trolls, outside of the skippy internet bullshit, and we can hang out a lot more, and I offer more tools and things like that in the Discord. Next year, I will probably be using the Discord a whole lot to drop tools, mudras, mantras, all the things into the Discord as well. So, I love you guys. Thank you so much for your support, your encouragement, for hanging out with me, for taking this journey with me, because, yeah, I'm not healed. I am not perfect. If I'm a master of anything, it's shenanigans and chaos. Master of change. But I don't believe that we have to be done with our journey for us to share our journey, for us to walk together. I think that it enhances our journey, enhances our healing process, and offers us the peace and the love and the support that we actually are designed to have. Remember, your system, your body is influenced by all of time that humans have been around, right? And even before that. That is so much longer, so much more knowing, so much more information than the current recent paradigm has. Stop letting them tell you that their ways are traditional. Their ways are the only. They were all made up at one point. So let's be the fucking painters of our reality. Let's fucking spew all the colors of our individual expressions out into the world and see if we can paint it anew. Yeah? Okay. I love you. I'll see you in the Discord. Or I'll see you tomorrow morning for Bhakti Bites. We also have Bhakti Bites class tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Yay! All right. Good night, Instagram. I'll see you later. Thanks for hanging out for the whole class today. Instagram's been doing better about that. And good night, YouTube. Thank you for hanging out the whole class. I love you guys.